Welcome one and all to the PooderooPlays Kingdom Hearts series. Here we're going to take a deep dive into the lore of the franchise in a multi-part collection spanning every installment. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the truly fascinating universe of Kingdom Hearts.
There are also some pretty cool honourable mentions that I would like to discuss, because they were a mix of attempts to bring Kingdom Hearts into new areas. That's not to say that the entire franchise throughout each installment, with all the different types of games there have been, wasn't also trying to do that. Some of these honourable mentions are just things that ended up, not working out anymore. I think there's one on this list that you can still play. The rest are just gone. So we'll start with Kingdom Hearts V-Cast. It was a game developed for the Verizon Mobile network. In 2004, it featured very limited graphics, like Lara Croft PlayStation 1 level graphics, and it had very little enemies, and you had to move Sora around using tank controls, but it had a story, a non-canon story. Sora and the lads go on an adventure together, and they come back from somewhere else. Sora's like, do you know what, guys, I'm tired, I'm gonna go for a nap. So he puts, the gummy ship in standby mode. Sets it in, looks back, looks forward, he parallel parks it between two planets. Meteorite shoots by and he's like, oh, damn, these crazy meteorites, not even using their turn signals nowadays. And he pops the handbrake and he's like, right, Donald, Goofy, I'm beat. I'm going to climb in the back of our gummy ship camper van and I'm going to take a nap. His dreams start to become crazy, and he wakes up in a place called Swashbuckler's Island, where he meets a parrot named Core, who helps him gather the materials he needs to build a raft like he did on Destiny Islands in the first game. But then, Maleficent summons Shadow Sora, the evil, heartless Sora, who he defeats, but then gets bitten by a dark tendril that curses him with darkness inside him. And then he leaves this world in search of another world with Core. And they arrive in Wonderland, but they get separated. But Sora manages to find the caterpillar, the hookah-smoking caterpillar, who tells Sora that he can make a potion from monsters' teeth that will combat the effects of his ailment and cure him. And so Sora has to go and basically clobber the crap out of these sentient creatures. They may be monsters, but, they're still sentient. And Sora's like, well, I'm sick, and I don't want to be sick, so I want some medicine. And I have to kill a whole bunch of creatures in order to get their teeth to make this potion the caterpillar told me to make. So the Caplonk has given Sora this objective of go and Hitman style, go through your assassination target list, and bring me back some toofuses, and we can make this potion to stop you from being sick. Sora just goes and kills a purple crocodile, and he collects its tooth. And then he wakes up in Agrabah. While waking up in Agrabah, Goofy and Donald are searching for him. Sora is led to the Cave of Wonders by an old man who first makes him buy a cane. And he leads him to the Cave of Wonders, where Sora finds the lamp and summons the genie, who gives him 3 wishes. But by removing the lamp, he causes lava to start pouring into the room, so his first wish is, get me away from this lava. And then he finds Jafar, and Jafar's like, yo dude, I'm not a good guy, I'm gonna work with the Heartless now. Jafar had turned into a cobra, so Sora beats the crap out of a snake and takes its tooth. Sora uses his second wish to open a portal to Maleficent's castle. Despite the fact he hasn't heard any of this being Maleficent's fault, he's just like, you know what? I'm tired of that bitch. I'm gonna go take her out. His second wish is the portal, but the place is being overrun by Heartless. And Sora's like, okay, Genie, get rid of the Heartless. And the Genie's like, I can't do that, Sora. And so Sora's like, alright, bye! And jumps through the portal into Maleficent's castle. At this point, when Sora goes into the portal, Donald and Goofy get abducted by Maleficent. Sora arrives at the castle to find Core, the parrot, in a cage. But it turns out Maleficent was just using that as bait to steal Sora's Keyblade. He continues on without his Keyblade, and he finds Donald and Goofy. He's like, alright guys, I'll free you later, I want to go get this dragon's tooth, So he goes, and he finds his Keyblade in a big machine, and he's like, alright, like a cartoon, he's like, come to Papa. So he grabs the Keyblade and sets off the machine, and the Maleficent pops up, she's like, ha ha ha, you fool, that was all part of my plan. You've now activated this machine that can only be activated by a being of pure heart, and now you've just made dark portals appear over all the worlds. Which was also apparently part of Maleficent's plan. She can read Sora like a book. She knows exactly what he's going to do at any given moment, and she can trick this little kid. I mean, I don't know how accomplished you should feel as an adult who's had years of experience getting one over on a child. No, she also tells him that the curse he's carrying will kill him by midnight if he doesn't get rid of it. Also, f*** your Keyblade, I'm gonna steal its magic. And she like takes the magic out the Keyblade. Sora's like, oh no, my Keyblade's broken. So he goes back to rescue Donald and Goofy. While they're talking about how are we gonna defeat Maleficent, Goofy accidentally reveals a door to Maleficent's hidden potion room. So they all go down there, and while they're in there, the boys are like, hey, we're gonna fiddle about with stuff in here. And Sora's like, cool, what's that mirror over there? He goes to the mirror, and inside it is Shadow Sora. And somehow he uses Shadow Sora to restore the magic in the Keyblade. He kicks Maleficent's butt. He steals a tooth from her mouth, because she obviously turned into a dragon at this point. And then he returns to the machine he had activated earlier and deactivates it. Then he and the boys in the potion-making room synthesize an antidote to cure his ailment. And then he jumps into the cauldron. Doesn't, get a flask, and he's like, just a tiny little dose will do good. He tries to OD and throws himself into the cauldron, but wakes up back on the gummy ship. Donald and Goofy next to him. And he's like, oh, okay, that was weird. Guess it must have been a dream. But there are physical signs that it wasn't, and that it must have actually happened. Kingdom Hearts V-Cast. This has been the most infuriating project I've ever worked on. Taken a long time, and then when I finally got to this stage in the recording process, a bunch of the videos had corrupted. So it's reshoot time, baby! So the next one is Kingdom Hearts Mobile. It's different from Kingdom Hearts V-Cast, which was a mobile game, and Recoded, which was also a mobile game, and Union, which was also a mobile game. It was developed for a mobile series called the Docomo Prime Series P-01A. It was developed in 2008, and it was a service that didn't actually offer any story or anything, but it acted as like an online virtual portal where you could watch videos on Kingdom Hearts, play mini-games on Kingdom Hearts, download wallpapers and ringtones all from Kingdom Hearts. It was available specifically on its website, but the service was discontinued in 2013. Players could browse the service in the Avatar Kingdom, where they played as an avatar of themselves. It's kind of the precursor for the avatars from Union X. And they could interact with other avatars, play mini-games together, do activities and stuff like that. And that was basically it. That was all it offered. But it was just another experiment by Square Enix to expand on Kingdom Hearts. The next one is Kingdom Hearts Magical Puzzle Clash. It was released in 2009 on the Disney website. It was a flash game developed to promote the release of 358 over 2 days. It was non-canon, obviously, and has since been discontinued. But the story consists of basically a recap of the events of 358 over 2 days, where the members of the organization work to release as many hearts as they can to build a new Kingdom Hearts. It's the whole plot of 358. But the gameplay was just like Bejeweled, Candy Crush. There's too many to list, but it's basically the same as that, where you have to swap two symbols around to earn points. You swap them around, it creates a line of 3, you match it up, it either turns into something or it deletes. While doing this, the enemy Heartless would appear on a game board of their own, next to your game board. This is where it actually got quite unique. And they would damage your HP bar whenever they cleared tokens. So you had to do the same on your board to clear their health bar, while also making sure that you didn't get stuck and were able to keep making moves. The special tokens could be activated to aid the player, and the Heartless also had their own special tokens. It consisted of 5 world-themed boards. Each board had 5 boards to play, so 25 boards in total.
Here are the world-inspired backdrops: Agrabah, Beast's Castle, Neverland, Olympus Coliseum, and Wonderland.
It also had the soundtrack from 358 over 2 days that would play while you played this game. It was just a really fun little game to play. I really enjoyed playing this game. Next up, we have Kingdom Hearts Digital Painter. It was also released in 2009 and was available as part of the Disney Create art sharing website. Art sharing websites were huge. It was like you would just sit and do stuff in MS Paint, but they had specific brushes and things you could use, themed after Disney stuff. It had things from characters from various Disney franchises, and you could make art with them. This was just a minigame, a non-canon minigame, as part of Disney Create. It was discontinued in 2012, but the gameplay was pretty much the exact same as the rest of Disney Create, but the brushes you could use were themed on Kingdom Hearts characters, and they were like stencils you could place and colour in. And then your finished result could be shared to your group wall with other players who also played Disney Create. That was it. Pretty cute. The next one is the Kingdom Hearts Recoded Gummy Ship Studio. This was a minigame originally playable on Facebook, when Facebook had games, but it was made into a Flash game afterwards and was hosted on the Kingdom Hearts website in 2011. Obviously non-canon, but it was made to promote Recoded and has been discontinued since then. But it was identical to the Gummy Ship minigame from Kingdom Hearts Mobile. Basically, the player had to pop the same coloured gummies on a game board in order to achieve a high score and advance.
There were also power-ups the player could use to help them, as well as an ultimate attack that would build up over time.
Not really a puzzle matcher. Wasn't bad. It's just why they released that to promote Recoded. Tad confusing. This is one of the longest titles we'll ever have to read for a Kingdom Hearts game. Final Fantasy Record Keeper X Kingdom Hearts Union Kai (Cross) collaboration event. This was a non-canon minigame available on the web or as part of the app for smart devices. It was released in 2018, and it featured gameplay that's pretty similar to the Gummy Ship missions from Kingdom Hearts 2. It's basically just a 2D version. It was really fun. You controlled it with your thumbs and your fingers. It unlocked rewards for both
Kingdom Hearts Union Cross
and rewards to use in Final Fantasy Record Keeper. But players would choose a ship to go out on in one of two missions. The campaign starts with one ship, but eventually had 6 that you could unlock. And players had to unlock them by obtaining certain medals throughout these missions you could go on. The player moved their ship by dragging the finger across their smartphone, or your mouse if you were playing it on the browser. You could shoot automatically as you moved, but then when you let go of your finger, it would fire the lock-on lasers. This was really fun to play. You got into a rhythm, and the way it looked, it was basically just like a 16-bit version of the Kingdom Hearts ship minigame. There were a whole bunch of enemies and a whole bunch of stuff you could do on these missions. Enemies dropped medals and health orbs, and at the end of the mission, the player's score was determined by how many ships they destroyed, as well as whatever score buffs from the ship that they've been using. It was a really, really fun little minigame. I thoroughly enjoyed playing this. But the next one is the Kingdom Hearts VR experience. It was released in 2019. Exclusively for the PlayStation VR, the PlayStation 4 VR. It's non-canon, but it's an experience, and it's still available to download from the PlayStation Store on the PS4, and obviously you need a PSVR headset to play it. You don't necessarily need to have motion controllers. The game essentially just lets players look around virtual scenes from the games, but there's something magical about that. There are a few things technologically that ever blew my mind where I thought, holy crap, this is sci-fi future stuff. Touchscreens, because I grew up in an age where we didn't have touchscreens, and VR. And when the first Oculus came out, yeah, it was clunky and janky as all hell, but when you were actually playing it, you forgot about that. You were just like, no way. Looking around, you're turning your head, and it actually feels like you're kind of there. This is a cool experience. It's whatever you decide to do in the game. You're not constricted to a subset of moves controlled by button inputs on a controller. You can move your head forward and backwards, and it's so novel, but it makes VR so much fun, and that's what this Kingdom Hearts experience was about. And you could check out these virtual scenes, one of which is the gummy ship cockpit. And you can do a mission at the Colosseum where you actually get to fight some Heartless. The reason why the motion controllers aren't essential to actually play the game is because a lot of the stuff there is videos and environments to just sit and look around, like Twilight Town. If you have the motion controllers, you actually get to interact with the world. You get to move the character's hands as you play as either Sora or Roxas. You can sit at the top of the clock tower in Twilight Town and eat the sea salt ice cream. Considering that, for me personally, is my favorite aesthetic from the entire series, and the clock tower scenes being so iconic to the franchise, the fact that you could in VR just sit and do the sea salt ice cream thing blew my freaking mind. There's also like a mini fighting room in Hollow Bastion too. It just takes scenes from the games and lets you chill in it. There are other worlds featured, but they're essentially just cutscene collections with music. You can still look around as all these things fly past and all these really cool visuals, graphics flying past you, these videos happening of titular moments in those worlds or of the franchise. They're basically just epic light shows blazing around you, but they're epic light shows. But there's also a menu that allows you to leaf through Jiminy's journal and view some 3D models all in VR. It's just a really cool honorable mention, and I couldn't have done the Kingdom Hearts franchise list without including these honorable mentions. And that's it. This one is about Kingdom Hearts moving forward. We've actually had quite a few reveals about Kingdom Hearts. They revealed 3 things, one of which was Dark Road. The second one was something called Missing Link, they've released a full-blown trailer for. And the third thing was Kingdom Hearts 4. So the trailer for Missing Link was dropped, and I wrote myself a little synopsis from what I gleaned from the trailer. So it will be a mobile game, but it's gonna be a GPS mobile RPG, which if anyone has ever played games like Microsoft Flight Simulator, you'll understand what that means. Basically, you'll have access to the entirety of this GPS thing that lets you explore the globe. You will be able to play the entire game and explore the entire world in real-time GPS without ever leaving your home. And it will feature Scarlet and Calum. In the trailer you can see that there are other worlds and there are Heartless to fight. It looks like it will definitely take place after Union, but it looks like it also predates Birth by Sleep. And it will follow the events of the life of someone known as a Drifter. They kind of look like Sora, but in like a white privateer's outfit. It kind of looks like when Sora dressed up as a pirate. But this person will be fighting Heartless on the astral plane. And it will feature collecting pieces of Disney characters. It will kind of be like summoning throughout the previous games. But also kind of looks like it might be a bit like Chain of Memories. These fragments will aid the player in battles against the Heartless on these astral planes, and it'll apparently tell the story of the forgotten parts of Scarlet and Calum's history after Dark Road. What the Kingdom Hearts franchise has always done, every single Kingdom Hearts game tried to explore something new. I'll drop the trailer below so you guys can check it out too, but it looks really interesting.
Since November 2024, the game has been indefinitely delayed following the closing of the iOS and Android open betas earlier that year.
So, officially announced in April of 2022, they released a sneak peek of Kingdom Hearts 4 as like a tech demo, before they released the official trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. Tetsuya Nomura has confirmed they've switched from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5. That's why the development is now taking longer. Nomura confirmed it will take place after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Remind DLC. He mentioned that there was difficulty in deciding whether to develop Kingdom Hearts 4 or a Virum Rex game itself, but he and the co-creator of the series decided that 4 should be the next title. Do we maybe have hope of a future Virum Rex game itself, connected to Kingdom Hearts, sort of how The World Ends With You was, and Final Fantasy in general? Maybe. Or maybe this will be the substitute of having a Virum Rex game, will be that Yuzora is just featured heavily in Kingdom Hearts 4. But regardless, in this trailer, it is Sora that you play as. The trailer features Sora waking up on a sofa in like this modern day building in Quadratum, because he looks out the window and he sees a sprawling metropolis. It's a regular, realistic, modern city. There are cars, there are people on their cell phones. It's such a trip and such a juxtaposition of what we're used to seeing in Kingdom Hearts. He opens the door to this apartment and he's met by a red-haired girl in a white dress. It is clearly Strelitzia. Like, it literally looks like if they had taken her little model from Union and made her 3D, like they did with the back cover movie. And she tells Sora where he is and describes it as a world full of life, or an afterworld. Which, to me, I thought the final world was an afterworld, because it wasn't really a world in the sense that we know it from the previous installments of the franchise. You know, there wasn't a keyhole there, there weren't lanes between leading to there. You had to die in order to go and visit. Kairi was dead when she visited it, so was Sora. The nameless star appears to be of a dead girl, and Ephema was dead, and his Chirithy, after his owner had essentially abandoned it. Quadratum, Strelitzia describes it as an afterworld. And as she says this, dark ball of energy appears in the sky. And this ball then morphs into a humanoid shape. The humanoid form morphs into a large, horned creature, like a dark side. This all happens as Sora runs towards it, and he starts performing flow motion moves that we saw in Dream Drop Distance and Kingdom Hearts 3 of basically super magic parkour. And then he engages it in battle and shows off some new moves with the Keyblade, including this awesome grapple that shoots out the end of the Keyblade. Kind of like the Shotlock from 3. While it's showcasing these magical attacks and the camera's panning around, a voice that had been speaking had been saying, if you leave this world for another, you'd have many to choose from. Guessing that they're basically opening up a sub-universe of worlds to explore. Then it concludes what it's saying by stating that should you leave, the world might not be the same when you return. I don't know if that is implying that the world is ever changing, or that he knows something's about to happen to this world. The camera then pans up to two characters in black coats standing on a rooftop, watching as Sora and the monster fight one another. After the game's logo appears on screen, cuts to a scene of Donald and Goofy walking through a dark tunnel, lit by the light at the end of Donald's staff. They talk about wanting to find someone they hope can help them. Then a blue flame appears in the dark around them, and the two start panicking as a voice demands to know where they're going. The two turn around to a wall of flame approaching them, and they both scream in fear. There's one character we know who uses blue flames. Hades. I don't know why they would be in the underworld, unless they were looking for the dead souls of the classmates from Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. The trailer is really good, you should give it a watch. Again, the link below. But that is Kingdom Hearts 4 so far, and that is Kingdom Hearts moving forward.
Thank you everybody so much for joining me as we explore the intriguing stories of the Kingdom Hearts franchise together. I have been your friendly neighborhood Pooderoo, and I hope you've had as much of a blast with this series as I did with making it. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye bye!